Hello, welcome back to my silly little vlog videos. This is week 6 recap, and I'm gonna run through this video. It's gonna be kind of like my work video, what I would do in a work day. I've done one like this before when I was in Puebla, and I really liked it, so I'm gonna do it again, and this is kind of gonna be the video that I am sharing more like publicly for people to follow, because this kind of explains how I organize and stay on top of my many things that I got going on. So yeah, I talked about how much I use my iPad before, and that's kind of how this was, I think, on a Sunday. Like, this was a weekend time of me getting things ready, so doing my weekly outputs, and I'll show that I'll show those like organizers and files and documents and stuff that I use. Yeah, this is me putting together the time. So I put about 48 hours a week. It's been more, it's been less in the past weeks, and I'll show that, I'll get into that more in a little bit. But this is my Notion. I wanted to show it. So this is kind of where I have all my things organized. This is my study hall or study room page, and then my morning pages where I do a lot of morning writings, and yeah, so I can just access it through these different pages. And this is my PhD dashboard, and these are all of my card decks, my weekly stuff, like what I have going on. It's been like, changed and fixed, and depends like on what time. Last semester was a little bit different than this semester, and and then like recently, for example, I had to add a lot more coursework days. So yeah, it's been still an adjustment, like it being a full year into the PhD program. It's an adjustment trying to figure out how to manage everything, all of your responsibilities. So this is how I do it. I definitely started by listing out the responsibilities that I had, and then with the organizer I use, my Notion, I break those things up and put tasks in there. I love check boxes because that check is that little gratification feeling that you have completed this, and so that's what I really enjoy about organizing this. And it also kind of gives me a brain break when I'm not doing homework. Do I use it to practice avoidant behavior? 100%. But I also very much use it to help support me through organizing my program stuff. So yeah, that's my Notion, and this is another page, my work dashboard. This is what I had starting before I had enrolled in my PhD, and then this is my vision board that I put together also kind of before everything. And when I was just playing with Notion, I actually started using it in the summer of 2025 when a colleague of mine recommended it to me, so shout out Victoria. Goyo and I actually also use it to plan out dates and stuff. And then I also am trying to add a kind of like personal website of like values and my work and kind of CV stuff. So moving on, these are other things that I use for classes and stuff. Of course we use Canvas, and these are the different classes that I have. I go to my calendar to make sure that I'm not behind on assignments. I normally will do assignments as they come up that week. I'm not very good at looking forward right now, which is so interesting because if you knew me in undergrad, like I was very on top of my stuff. I had stuff done like a week in advance, and I have not been able to get back into that pattern. I wasn't doing that when I was in my master's. It wasn't like that. But now I'm comfortable with where I'm at, but mostly because our professors are pretty lenient with us, and they're cool and understanding, and that we have other responsibilities, and they also kind of set the foundation that deadlines are more so for self-organizing and making sure that we're staying on top of things and not getting behind, but it's not a end of the world kind of thing if you turn it in a few days late, and if you're in communication with your professors, then it's typically okay. So yeah, I highly recommend that if anyone's ever looking into the program and like, oh, deadlines, like, I think a good conversation doesn't hurt. And now I want to show my Canva page. This is really cool because we get the pro version paid for, and we all share it. So this is my folder, and this is what I kind of work in. These are my tasks that I'm normally doing in the week when it comes to Spark social media and Spark direct practices, mostly managing the social media page and doing weekly graphics. So I do this weekly events announcement and have days and things come out weekly for the students, and then I have to put these in the Canvas page, which I was not good about at all last semester. Like I said, it took me a while to get the hang of things, but yeah, my colleague works on this, and she's, everybody's like super genius and helpful in the work that they do, and I use this page to organize all that stuff, and yeah, I do my other graphics are art group, walking group, and then we do like weekly workshops. Oh, and what is the other one? Art group, walking group, game night, and then any Friday night socials that we have, and yeah, that's it. I'm also going to include some clips in the background as we go through, just from like my week and what I kind of do when I get home. I'm so tired in the middle of the week, and I get home after a 12 to 9 kind of shift. But it's interesting. My weeks are pretty flexible and pretty flexible and like flexible and consistent, but not so consistent or like not rigid, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really enjoy my work schedule now, and honestly, it, as hard as it is and how much like I sometimes I'm like, oh, like I get so tired, I am super appreciative of how this is my dream job. This is exactly kind of how I felt when I was working at the Dragonfly home, and yeah, this is cool too. So it's been hard having Artie at home all day most days, but I mean, my friend Holly says better than a shelter, 24 hours in a shelter. So yeah, this is my life. Then this is my Google Drive, and I've just always used Google Drive, so this is the most comfortable thing to me in how to organize, but I do need to start moving stuff to OneDrive because it's what we use. But this is my Sheets, my 2026 Sheets folder, and it has my homework tracker, assignments tracker, my output for the week, and stuff that I've done, like records that I've done, different certificates and projects throughout the semester. So, also, I'm going to really fight myself on saying, and now that I said it, I know that anybody who hears it afterwards or before, or if you haven't already noticed, will hear it. So I'm working on it because I will be talking a lot for presentations, and I need to not say that because that's a bad word. But yes, that is that, and this is how I schedule out my weeks and stuff, and I put my kind of my output, like I'll put times and stuff in here, like kind of record it here, and then whenever it comes to the end of the week, it's a lot easier to look through. Okay, there's my work, work from home or Zaro tab where I know I typed everything, and then I type it by time or stuff, and then it's easier to record what the activity falls under which category, whether it's direct practice or coursework or individual scholar research or institute service hours. So yeah, there's four categories. Next, I'm gonna show my at work setup. So this is me at home when I'm working from home, getting some stuff ready in the morning, and then this is my desk at the institute in our K4 building. So you can see the map on my board actually, so that's kind of funny. And yeah, it's not a huge campus, but it's big enough that parking is a pain. And then here's me using my iPad because I love my iPad. I really will use it for everything, and I've been using it even more so for my everything tracking, like hormonal cycling tracking. I have it my class notes, my school notes. I let other students write on it sometimes for the easy access, like to scribbling kind of. But yeah, and then this is what I'll do every now and then, like when the weather's been nice, I've been able to go out and do a walk and sit outside, especially during my breaks in class, because I'm in class from normally 5:30 to 9. Well, that's Tuesday and Thursday, and then on Monday I have class 7 to 9, 8:45, but that's in person. So the days that I'm sitting there at that desk from 12 to 6 for work, and then from 5:30 to 9 for class, like, it's a lot, man. And like I said, the hours are really flexible, and I can put in a lot of work one week and a little bit work one week. That's just kind of the way of the program. But I try and keep it really balanced with keeping myself, tracking it, and then keeping myself healthy. Like I went to some appointments this whole month of February, and this is me before a therapy session, like checking my hair, because like I left it down because I get tired, and like this was also a Friday, so coming back late, but I have good moments, like hanging out with Goyle and Artie. I made pizza at the house, and then he got wings, and that was fun. But yeah. Then this is another day of me working. This is on a Saturday, probably. But any day that it's a work from home day, I'll typically get up, get myself ready and pampered. I like to spend like an hour getting ready, and then an hour walking, and then I've normally planned for an hour for breakfast too. So I like my slow morning routines, because then the whole like hour of me getting ready or waking up before I get ready, my alarm will go off normally at like say I'm waking up from 7 to 8, my alarm will go off at 7:30, and I expect to be out of bed by 8. So I'll definitely give myself plenty of time. Oh, also my thing broke, if you're wondering why I'm using my hand. And yeah, I just made some egg and chorizo because it was so yummy. And there's the finished product. And there's Artie, because he is such a goofball. And here's whenever we go on our walks. Going on these walks with Artie is so important to me, because I was doing it for him. Like, I was doing it because he has a lot of energy when I first got him. And it's funny because I also didn't start paying attention to food and what we were eating until I started paying attention to Artie's food. And after that, walking just turned out to be really good for my health, and obviously, but like not obviously, because they don't tell you, unless they tell you, then you don't know. And I remember like seeing something that more than 10 minutes of walking is already doing like some health benefits, and I think that that's really important, that people need to be walking. And it's typically because you have a dog that's high energy, and it doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's snowing, if it's windy, like you go out. And I think that that's really important, because my health is the only thing that keeps me able to work this much. And my hormonal cycling research that I get into, it all plays into this. And so daily walking is part of it. The food that I eat, you see a lot of a lot more greens in my diet than before. Still very, I think, like, I guess cultural based for me, but I'm a lot more intentional about the fruits and vegetables that I have, especially at different times of the month, because our hormones fluctuate at different times of the month, and it's important to eat by those things and operate by those things. So movement, nutrition, and even mindset are all things that we consider, that we should consider differently at different times. But so that's that rant, and that's kind of it. I'm gonna put a video at the end of this of me going to Chicago. This is me getting ready. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with me. I'm gonna work on changing or making sure that these translations are as accurate as I can make sure that they are. But yeah. Be kind to your neighbor and to yourself, and love your neighbor and yourself, and I'll see you next time.